Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, probably like many Doctor Who fans, I was cautiously optimistic about the fact that Russell T Davies was returning to the series out there. He's bringing David Tennant back, and well, we had those wonderful 60th anniversary specials. I guess we got 3 instead of 1, and yeah, right from the very get-go, we knew exactly what we're going to get. It was going to be nothing much more than a bunch of DEI, adversity, agenda-driven nonsense out there, and of course, color us shocked there. Considering Disney was funding this, it should come as no surprise to absolutely anyone out there. Well, we thought that that was going to be the end of an era, having Chibnall go away and have Russell Davies come back, and now we're looking at another giant error in Doctor Who that may also actually be coming to a close because, yes, boys and girls, according to some interesting little speculation out there, because of BBC's own cuts to an interview, good old Ncuti Gatwa, Shooty out there, might not be returning for a season 3 after all on the Disney Plus series. And boys and girls, I think we can all be very excited to hear about that. So we've got this article over here from bleedingfool.com that leads us over to another article over here from Doctor Who TV, of all places, boys and girls. And it is a fascinating little tidbit to see where all of this speculation is coming from, and the fact that we might not even see a season 3 of this show, considering how much of a disastrous dumpster fire it has turned in for the Walt Disney Company, failing to completely and totally chart in any way, shape, or form on U.S. charts, and having the worst ratings and viewings of all time on the BBC charts for any Doctor Who series of all time. Yes, it would be the smart decision to cancel this. As to whether or not they'll actually do it, it'll only be a matter of time before we find out. So we're going to check out these articles, get into all of the juicy details, and see exactly where all of this speculation comes from. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share it with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not, but boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Let us know, do you think this is true? Do you think the speculation is accurate? Do you think there's any way they carry on with this nonsense after all the money they've spent? Or do you think you absolutely love this series and you hope they actually do keep Shooty around? Let us know about all that in the comment section down below. Also, if you do enjoy actual When Doctor Who Was Good, come check out our series review on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. over the Central Standard Time, where we review When Who Was Good with my dear sweet friend Sunker Maiden and Mr. Grant Gregory. It's a really good time, and we actually enjoy. It's a great little palate cleanser from all of this nonsense that we deal with. So Doctor Who Season 3 mystery. Is Ncuti Gatwa out as the 15th Doctor? The latest revival of Doctor Who faces a very uncertain future after the first season divided fans and failed to meet viewership expectations, despite Disney Plus giving the long-running sci-fi series a much-needed cash injection and global audience. Returning showrunner Russell T Davies aimed to draw younger viewers to the show, but the season faced backlash for featuring a Rwandan Scottish, openly gay black actor lead and more than an ample amount of LGBTQ plus themes. Then a report in July suggested the show could be canceled after season 2, and Disney Plus might part ways with the BBC over the costly experiment. Yeah, this is something they've dumped like $200 or $300 million into, and it has absolutely failed to respond with any kind of actual numbers onto the Disney Plus series. Like, it's literally turned into worse of a disaster than Acolyte and things like that. It is not going well whatsoever. So they go on to talk about a lot of the rest of the speculation. Russell T Davies going on out there admitting all of that kind of stuff of no confirmation yet, and that's where it leads into this, because they go on to quote Mr. H, who Mr. H actually just brings up this article right here with his information, because this is where the whole idea of Ncuti Gatwa not coming back for a 3rd season after seemingly getting confirmed through a lot of initial reports. Well, guess what? The BBC disagrees with that and did not want that information going out there. So from Doctor Who TV, BBC cuts Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor Who comment confirming a 3rd series for the 15th Doctor. Oh, yes, because that's how this is going. And yes, a 3rd season, even though this is technically like, series 15 or 16 at this point, but because even IMDb, Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies and everybody else, including Disney, considers this a season 1 because it's now under the Disney umbrella. And hey, I think every fan is okay with doing that. Can we also decanonize all of Chibnall's stuff too, please? That would be nice. So recent press reports are stating that Ncuti Gatwa is returning to film a 3rd series of the Doctor Who in 2025. However, it appears the situation is not quite so clear-cut. During an appearance on the Grand Nolam show, Ncuti Gatwa was widely reported to have confirmed his future involvement, indicating at a 3rd run for his Doctor. However, this part of the comment was notably edited out from the final BBC broadcast, raising questions about the certainty of these plans. And obviously, BBC and Disney would know know better than anyone, and if oops, he accidentally slips and says something that is not true or has not been confirmed yet, well, they're gonna edit it out, because all we know is this is rumors from inside people that watched this interview get recorded live that let all this information out there. But no, BBC says not so fast. Originally, Ncuti Gatwa was reported as saying, "It's all going well. We did the second series this year. The Christmas special is coming up, and we're filming a third series next year." Oh, are you, boyo? Oh, are you? But in the final broadcast version of the interview, Gatwa said, "It's all going well. We finished the second season earlier this year. We've got the Christmas episode coming out at Christmas. ... But it's been amazing." Oh, really? Weird. And I bet you if you actually watch the final version of that, you'll probably see the cut, because BBC ain't that good at things like that. While fans took his original comment as a clear confirmation of a future series beyond next year, the decision to omit that part about the third series filming suggests that things are still very much up in the air. And why wouldn't they be? This series has the lowest watched episode in the history of Doctor Who, and actually gave us worse ratings than the abysmal Chibnall era, with Jodie Whittaker, as we lovingly like to refer to her, shout out to Nerdrotic, as Dr. Karen. Like, literally, it was the most, and I gave that series a shot. Right? I loved Capaldi's Doctor. He should have went on for years more. And the actual initial plans were for him to carry on. But of course, Chris Chibnall had to come in and replace him with a woman. He refused to work with Peter Capaldi and wanted to go forward with his oh so inclusive wham and power forward nonsense that, of course, with The Timeless Child, completely and totally destroyed all of Doctor Who canon. Yeah, no wonder we've got an issue with that. We thought that was bad. We thought it couldn't get any worse than that, ladies and gentlemen. And then Disney shows up and go. Disney and Russell T Davies show up and go, "Chris Chibnall, hold my beer. You thought Doctor Who was dead? No, we're going to reanimate its corpse. We're going to bring it back up, and we're going to fuck the shit out of it in our very gay way, because that's what we want to do. It's all gay, all of the time. And Russell T Davies cares more about his genitalia and where it goes and protecting those poor marginalized communities than he does about the Doctor Who fans and actually giving us a good quality show." And guess what, Russell T Davies? When this series does eventually get canceled and you are out of a job once again, it's going to be a beautiful thing to see, and it'll be exactly what you deserve. It's entirely likely that there are at least plans. Oh, no, wait, here we go. Adding to that, Russell T Davies reiterated that no official commission for season 16, or season 3 as he referred to it, has been made yet. And that was something that, once again, that was the same interview where he said it mattered to him more about pushing his agenda in the series than the ratings being actually good and making a profit. He had no problem sacrificing everything we love about Doctor Who on the altar to his cult. And if you've read the Old Testament, we know how it works out worshiping those quote-unquote gods. It never pans out, and it blows up in your face, just like it has once again. Those gods for that cult don't reward you with anything. You get abysmal failure and disastrous dumpster fires of ratings, wasting hundreds of millions of dollars that could have gone to something much better and actually revitalize the show, erase Chibnall's nonsense. But of course, Russell T Davies, you said flat out you weren't going to go do that, and that should have been the first big red flag for every fan out there. And clearly, after interview after interview, no one was willing to give you a chance. This show has flopped miserably, and it absolutely should be canceled. It is entirely likely that there are at least plans for filming, and Gatwa is just getting a bit ahead of himself. This will all likely be dependent on the Disney Plus deal and their plans with the show after their 2 seasons have aired. Because yes, that's all they're contracted for. And what do you want to bet? The numbers for season 2 aren't going to get any better. And Russell T Davies' hopes of seeing what happens after season 2 and being able to push his agenda using Doctor Who as a platform again will finally be over. And a time period where Disney is broke and doesn't have the money to spend on anything that does not have returns, where Bob Iger has flat out come out and said he is going to cut back on major theatrical projects and projects all across the board, whether it be Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, or any of the rest of Disney proper. What makes you think Bob Iger is going to continue to waste hundreds of millions of dollars on a series that can't even chart as much as The Acolyte, a series Disney Star Wars canceled within a month of it coming out. The only reason the official announcement has not been made as of right now is because of the fact that they've still got a Christmas special and a season 2 to go forward with. And just like what we saw with DC when they announced that Henry Cavill and all of the rest of that was not going to come back and they were rebooting the universe, guess what? Every movie since then has flopped. Disney knows the pattern. They're smart and they're not going to announce this until after all of this has run its course. If they ever announce it, what it's probably going to be is a very quiet thing or leaked out from the inside of Disney saying they are not going to bring it back for a third season. And that would be the smart decision. You have already wasted hundreds of millions of dollars of Davies pushing his agenda, sacrificing Doctor Who and its entire fandom on his cult, and it has got you nothing, Disney. Because after all, you found out yourself when it comes to Marvel and Star Wars, go woke, go broke. And that's exactly what Disney Doctor Who has done. Enjoy irrelevancy.